Thank you, Prabhuji. But I think I'm at a point where it is still, I feel everything is very theoretical. And everyone talks about, like, ultimately they talk about the experience of being, that it shouldn't come from the knower, known, knowing triad.
Okay, so let us take your. I want to take it this point. Okay.
Sure, sure, Prabhuji.
So you say everything theoretical, correct?
Yes.
Then you are saying something is practical. There is something theory and practical are there. Okay, this is actually a gap. Theory is different from practice. Okay, so that again itself is a duality.
Yes.
When we speak of Vedanta, all understanding happens in the mind only. Mana eva karanam manushyana bandhamokshayo. Wrong understanding is there in the mind, and you'll have to correct with the right understanding in the mind. Okay, so wrong understanding is what we call as avidya vratti. It has to be correct with the right understanding called vidya vratti. When avidya vratti is cancelled with vidya vratti, what remains is the self, pure, shining. It is not a new gain. It's always there all the time, but you don't notice. So, understanding clearly and understanding has to sink in deep. The sinking is called nididhyasa. So, this process of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa itself gives the freedom. So, there is no understanding other than the mind. There's no understanding other than the intellect. A screen gets covered with the movie. When the movie is not there, the screen is evident. The movie here is the wrong understanding in the mind. That wrong understanding is to be corrected with the right understanding. The movie is not there. The screen alone remains. So you cannot get Atma because you are the Atma. You cannot get Brahman because you are the Brahman. And you cannot get it as a new experience. Okay, because Brahman start looking for a new experience, a novel experience, it's not there. Brahman or yourself is there in every experience as knowing. Understand? So what happens in the pitfall in spirituality is we are start looking for a new experience. There's no new experience. Eternal experience is there in the background of all our experiences. So we should start recognizing that eternal experience in all our experiences. That is the spiritual journey. Are we clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. So are you saying when we sit to meditate, typically everyone says they talk about thoughts and they say slowly annihilate the thoughts, such that when all the thoughts drop, you just go into being. And see, that is not happening. When, like, even if I sit at meditation, there is at least one thought left that my mind is blank. And I'm very aware of the blank mind.
Correct. So, see, she's saying, people are saying eliminate the thoughts. Okay. She is eliminating all the thoughts. Then she'll be left with the thought, my mind is blank. Understand? That thought she cannot remove. Correct?
Yes.
So here, the word meditation, correct? The word meditation has different connotations. There are hundreds of types of meditation. And typical meditation is called chittavritti nirodha, or stopping the thoughts in the mind. Okay? So, when we try to stop thoughts in the mind, a thought is required to stop the thought in the mind. And ultimately, that thought has to be dropped. So, the Vedantic meditation is called nididhyasa. Systematically, you are removing the ignorance in the mind. You are not removing a thought with the correct understanding of the situation, of the reality of the mind. As you become correct understanding dawns, by themselves, thoughts will reduce because wrong understanding is giving rise to thoughts. So let us say my mind has become blank, correct? So now you are giving a reality to something called mind, which is blank. Then you say my mind. So there's a duality. Whose mind? My mind. The one whose mind is blank and one who is observing it, there are two entities. A duality remains. So what is required to recognize is that there's no duality. There's nothing called mind and I. The mind is itself is nothing but Brahman, awareness. So once that recognition happens, there's no duality remaining. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhuji, but I have one question. If I have to be aware of awareness also through my mind, there is
No.
still duality.
No. It's the mind cannot. The question being asked is, I have to be aware of awareness by the mind. Mind cannot be aware of awareness. Okay. See, the mind cannot be aware of awareness because mind is powered by awareness. Mind cannot become aware of awareness. So mind can be freed from wrong understanding about itself and the world. Then what remains is awareness. Then mind is no mind. Mind is the self. Mind is the Atma. Mind is Brahman. When the wrong understanding goes, then there is no Atma and the mind. Mind is the Atma.
Got it.
Right? Your attempt should be to get rid of wrong understanding. When the deep-rooted wrong understanding goes, then what is there is the mind is not there now. Mind itself is the Atma. There's no blankness. Everything is there is Atma only, Brahman only.
Very beautiful. Yes.
Got it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Now this whole search, saying that I have some mind, there's a world outside, all this search itself is, in a sense, misleading. Okay. So you started with the question, there is I am awareness, there's a disturbance in awareness, then the world appears. Correct?
Yes.
You started with that.
Yes.
Right? So then you didn't say world appears, existence is there.
Yes.
Okay. So many of the English translations of the word book Vedanta, they say existence is not there, which is not correct. Existence is called Sat in Vedanta. Okay. So when there is a disturbance, there's a manifestation. Existence is always there, like a background. Brahman is always there as Sat in the background. But when Brahman is seen, that appears as a manifestation. The manifestation is not real, but Brahman is always there. Existence is always there. We cannot speak of a non-existence.
So you are saying, Prabhuji, Brahman alone exists. It is awareness, but when it is aware of something, it gives it a temporary appearance.
Correct. The Brahman itself is awareness. Okay. Awareness cannot be aware of itself also.
Yes.
Right? A light cannot be aware. Light cannot be illuminate light itself. Light is the illumination. Awareness cannot be aware of itself.
Yes.
Awareness can illuminate anything else. Correct?
Yes.
So now Brahman alone is there, which is light. You can think. Now I call it as awareness is, which is existence isness. So Brahman has a power called Maya. In that Maya, awareness of something else happens. Okay. There's nothing else to be aware. Only Brahman only becomes aware of Brahman in some other form, in the world form of the world and the body.
So the awareness of a thing is giving it a temporary appearance, but that thing is whether it's a thought or an object or whatever. So that disturbance, there should be some disturbance within Brahman, which is it's aware of.
Correct. So now you should say, we say there is some disturbance within the Brahman, which is our experience, right? There's a disturbance, that's why we are seeing the world. Okay? There's a temporary reality for the disturbance. The temporary reality called disturbance we call as mind. So you see, you're saying there's a temporary disturbance, that's why the world is appearing. In Brahman, pure awareness, there's a disturbance, that disturbance is called mind, because the world appears. Right? So that's what we're saying. So first thing is, I accept what you say. There's a temporary disturbance, and because of that world appears. That is accepted. Okay. Now, what I am going to deny is that for the temporary disturbance and for world, I'm denying reality. So I'm saying it's not there. So then come back and say, I have experience of that. I have experience of the world and I have experience of mind, you'll say. Correct?
Yes.
So the entire process of Vedanta is what we call as the experience, which is a temporary, is not at all real. So that's why it's not there. So many of the spiritual teachings are trying to remove the disturbance called mind, make the mind silent, and realize Brahman. Correct?
Yes.
So the moment you try to give reality to the disturbance called mind and the world, already you are in a trap. You're trapped in Maya. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Prabhuji, but it feels real. That everything feels tangible.
Everything feels tangible and real, right? Entire Vedanta is investigation to what is tangible and real. To investigate the tangible and reality, to understand it's not real. It's not trying to remove that. Right? That's why Ramana Maharshi asks us, inquire who I am. He doesn't say remove the thoughts or nothing. He says, inquire who I am. When you, by the process of inquiry, that what is tangible becomes intangible.
Okay. So you are saying the process of inquiry is not for awareness to be aware of itself. That cannot happen. It's just to remove the false knowledge. So all that remains is just awareness.
Correct. And awareness, you'll never be able to find as an object. You'll never be able to find it as an experience.
Okay.
What awareness cannot be aware of itself, then it becomes an object of itself.
Yeah.
Awareness cannot be, a mind cannot be aware of awareness. Then awareness becomes an object. So what happens is that the wrong understanding is removed through inquiry. The right understanding alone remains. And the right understanding gives us immense peace.
Got it. Okay.
And that immense peace is called Parashanti.